Hello students, good morning to one and all. Welcome to online classes. I am Dr. Nazim Ahmed, Assistant Professor of Chemistry, Islamia College, Wanembody. As you all aware, the situation, pandemic COVID-19, coronavirus spreading day to day. So we started online classes from today instead of regular classes. So this is my first class. So before we going to start the lesson, we shall discuss about some of the basic knowledge about coronavirus. COVID-19, coronavirus are a large family of viruses that cause illness ranging from the common cold to more severe disease such as Middle East respiratory syndrome and severe acute respiratory system. A novel coronavirus is a new strain that has not been previously identified in human. Coronavirus are zoonotic. Coronavirus are zoonotic. That means they are between animals and people. Several known coronavirus are circulating in animals that have not yet infected in humans. So as you all are aware, the clinical features, the incubation period is nearly around 1 month or matter of 3 weeks. Similarly, recovery time, it will take from 3 weeks to 6 weeks also. If it is a person become positive, so we have to be follow some of the parameters and some immediate actions. As you know, frequently reported signs and symptoms of patient include the first thing is fever, that means high temperature, cough, similarly headache, and also shortness of breath like asthma, wheezing. Here also, if it is the patient has positive, the sign has to be found, that is shortness of breath. Less common reported respiratory symptoms include sore throat. In generally we called throat pain, is it not? And also cough with sputum production. So these are all the basic symptoms for coronavirus. And you know very well, by means of TV news channel and also from the Tamil Nadu government and municipalities, there are so many precautions, tips for protecting yourself from coronavirus in hotel rooms. The first thing is disinfect room surfaces that are frequently touched. So due to this current situation, so by this time we have to be very strictly, we have to clean the surface at least 2 times a day. Similarly, open windows to ensure air circulation That is also very, very important. You should not travel. First thing, even though while you are traveling in buses, sometimes most of the windows were closed. No, this is wrong one. Always windows should be open, otherwise one kind of suffocation will create inside the buses or in which you are traveling. So always open the windows. And the third point is keep social distance. So nowadays these things become common. Wherever you go in the market or in the shops, you see the social distance square boxes or circle mark for making distance, and also wear a mask when talking to others. Very, very essential, very important. Generally we are using mask just for namesake. We are not closing our nose just for the namesake only we are using, is it not? We feel boring or one kind of smell in our mask itself, so we have to be wash it or buy, or we have to update our mask. And nowadays in the starting the cost was very high, now it becomes cheap rate also. And the fourth one is remove the comforter or blanket to avoid potential infections. That is also very important tips. And the last one is wash your hands on arriving in the room or house. Nowadays wherever we go, the first thing is what they are doing, they are giving some sanitizer to rub our hands, and similarly they are checking our temperatures. So before that we should protect ourselves. And similarly while we come to home, the first thing is we have to be wash our hands, foods, etc. Similarly, the tips for safe grocery shopping: maintain at least 1 meter distance from others. This is the only solution, because we cannot pass a day without going to market or shop anything from market. Definitely many people will gather, crowd. But what is your duty is to maintain at least 1 meter distance from others. The second one is avoid touching your eyes, mouth, and nose, because we are keeping hand in many places. That's why we should be very, very essential and look it whether we are touching our eyes, mouth, and the nose. The third one is sanitize the handles of trolleys and baskets before using them. Similarly, we are going to ATM and also in many places, and sometimes we are using lift doors. So we have to sanitize the handles, because we don't know who touched before the handles. Maybe that from that also there is a possibilities of transforming a coronavirus to in our body. And the last one is wash your hands thoroughly after handling and storing purchased goods. So these are all the some basic awareness of coronavirus. Now come to organic class. So in this semester, that is your third semester, you are having 3 theory papers and 2 practicals. One is the inorganic chemistry 3, organic chemistry 3, and third one is the physical chemistry 3. And practicals, one is the elective practicals, organic estimations, and potentiometric titrations, and also another practical is inorganic practicals, gravimetric estimations. Now regarding theory paper, organic photochemistry, in the case of organic paper having 5 units, in which this fourth unit, organic photochemistry and aromaticity. So in this chapter I am going to discuss organic photochemistry. As you all aware about the basic thing which I have in this slide, that is 7 colors rainbow, a visible spectrum, VIBGYOR, VIBGYOR, V for yes, violet, indigo, I for indigo, B for blue, G for green, Y for yellow, O for orange, and R for red. And these wavelength also given. Basically, the photochemical reactions, for any chemical reaction or chemical transformation, certain amount of energy known as activation energy has to be supplied to the molecules of the reactants. Generally, this energy is supplied by increasing the temperature. As you know, how the temperature increase, the energy increases slowly by increasing the temperature. If you are continuously passing the temperature, automatically what will happen? The energy will increase. By this process, the molecules of the reactant remain in their ground state. At the same time, what will happen? With vibrational, rotational and transitional energies at a higher level than described by Maxwell-Boltzmann law. Now, at higher temperature, the molecules which have acquired sufficient energy lead to formation of the product. Alternative, the energy for a chemical reaction can be supplied photochemically. This involves absorption of electromagnetic radiation in the visible or UV region. Remember this point. Absorption of electromagnetic radiation in the UV or visible region. Under these conditions, a molecule absorbs a quantum of light, the energy of which depends on the frequency of the radiation as expressed by the equation. As you know, that is E is equal to h nu. E is equal to h nu, or where h that is equal to h c by lambda, where h is the Planck's constant and c is the velocity of the light. This energy is in greater than the bond dissociation energy of a carbon-carbon sigma bond. Unlike thermal reaction, in photochemical reactions, that absorption of light raises an individual molecule to an excited electronic state. Now the theory of photochemistry. Photochemistry, a subdiscipline of chemistry, is a study of chemical reactions that proceed with absorption of light by atoms or molecules. Light is a type of electromagnetic radiation, and you know very well it is a source of energy. So remember, students, what is light? Light is nothing but an electromagnetic radiation, and also a very good example of source of energy. The light must be absorbed by a chemical substance in order of a photochemical reaction to take place. For each photon of light absorbed by a chemical system, no more than one molecule is activated for a photochemical reaction as defined by the quantum yield. Now, the chemical reaction occurs only when a molecule is provided the necessary activation energy. Remember here, activation energy. When a molecule is provided the necessary activation energy. In case of photochemical reactions, the light will provide the activation energy. That is very important point. The photochemistry is the interaction of light and chemicals. Organic photochemistry is a branch of organic chemistry that studies light-induced chemical reaction of organic compounds. So the reactions are several orders of magnitude faster than thermal reaction. The chemistry of the excited molecules in the ground state, that is in thermal reactions, even though the total energy supplied thermally is much more than what is introduced in photochemical process. Photochemical reactions, as we will see subsequently, have been used for synthesis of highly strained, thermodynamically unstable compounds. Also, one more interesting point, the photochemical reactions are highly stereospecific. Yes, that is to be noted, students. That point to be noted. Photochemical reactions are highly stereospecific. The products obtained by thermal and photochemical process normally differ in stereochemistry. Now, the photophysical process. If the absorbed radiation is not used to cause a chemical change, it is re-emitted light of a larger wavelength. The three such photophysical process which can occur are, so there are three photophysical process. Remember, I think you studied in your UG classes also. You know about what is mean by fluorescein, phosphorescein, and chemiluminescence. Fluorescein, Fluorescence. That is very important. Similarly, look at this slide. Phosphorescence. Similarly, third one is chemiluminescence. So as far as concerned, the fluorescein, the emission of light energy when the molecules returns from the excited state in their lowest vibrational levels to the several levels of the ground state is known as fluorescein. Or certain molecules or atom when exposed to light radiation of short wavelength emits light of longer wavelength. Now if it is I'll give this explanation that is already given in this slide. When a molecule absorb, there are two things. One is the adsorb, ADSORB. Absorb is entirely different. Absorb, AB. I already told you in the UG classes also the examples of absorb and adsorb. So absorb, a light absorb. When a molecule absorb high energy radiation, it is excited to higher energy states, then it emits excess energy. Underline this point. Then emits excess energy through several transitions to the ground state. Thus the excited molecules emit light of longer frequency. The color of fluorescence depends on the wavelength of light emitted. Example, now from which you can understand, a solution of chlorophyll in ether shows blood red fluorescence. So in a test tube you are taking a chlorophyll solution from one side, we are looking from your eyes, that is a transmitted light green. At the same time on the other side from the sunlight, and if you the light is from the eye side of the other side is reflected light red fluorescence. Next one is phosphorescence. When a substance absorbs radiation of high frequency and emits light even after the incident radiation is cut off, the process is called phosphorescence. I repeat once again. When a substance absorbs radiation of high frequency and emits light even after the incident radiation is cut off. After the incident radiation is cut off. Point to be noted. The process is called phosphorescence. The emission of light energy when the molecules returns from their lowest vibration levels in the excited triplet state to the several levels of the ground state singlet is known as phosphorescence. Okay, this is the basic definition to remember. Next we will discuss in another chapter, that is Jablonski diagram, how the light energy emission from the lowest vibration to the excited to the several levels of the ground state. So what is the process of phosphorescence? So just to remember here, when a substance absorbs radiation of high frequency and emits light even after the incident radiation is cut off, the process is called phosphorescence. Phosphorescence is chiefly caused by ultraviolet and visible lights. It is generally shown by solids. Now look at the example so that you will clearly understand the phosphorescent powder under visible light and also UV light and total darkness. So because of the energy of visible and ultraviolet light is of the same order of magnitude is that of covalent bond, a molecule and absorbing a photon of light may cleave into two parts. The process is known as photolysis. So the photolysis, it passed into various other subtopics. So I think time is over. We will stop up to this basic introduction. In the next class, we will discuss the remaining part regarding to organic photochemistry. If you have any doubts, you can ask by means of you can contact and clear your doubts. So in this chapter, we will going to discuss the photochemical reactions. Similarly, the difference between photochemical and thermal reactions, and also photochemical reactions of some carbonyl compounds, and very important questions, that is Norris type 1 and Norris type 2, and also the photolysis of 2-hexanone. So these are all the, so this topic is very useful, and also various questions are asking while you are appearing the net set competitive examinations. So first you clearly understood the principles and fundamentals of organic photochemistry. With that, I conclude my speech. Thank you for patient listening. Thank you.